All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Sarabjit Kaur and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch hydropower projects worth over 11,000 crore rupees in Mandi, Himachal Pradesh today. Prime Minister cautions people against rising cases of Omicron, says individual alertness and discipline are big strengths of the country in fight against new variant of COVID. Delhi government decides to impose night curfew from today. Karnataka to also impose night curfew for 10 days from tomorrow. Registration for Prime Minister's Pariksha Pe Charcha program to begin tomorrow on mygov.in. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar says government has no plan to bring back farm laws scrapped recently. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh lays foundation stone of BrahMos missile production unit at Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh. India to resume their first innings against South Africa at overnight score of 272 for 3 in Centurion Test today. And India to take on Afghanistan in ACC Under-19 Asia Cup in Dubai this morning. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the new corona variant is a cause of concern. In this situation, we appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and help others get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events are being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in the morning news since 16th August and will continue till 15th August 2022. India Post has joined hands as the logistics partner with All India Radio News for the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. And coming to our 39th question of the Amrit Mahotsav quiz in English, historic Kuka revolt in Punjab occurred in which year? I repeat the question. Historic Kuka revolt in Punjab occurred in which year? Listeners can send their responses to the question over WhatsApp on 8826546262. I repeat the number 8826546262 or through email on amritmahotsavquiz@prasarbharati.gov.in. One lucky participant will be selected as a winner and will be announced in tomorrow's morning news. The winner will be awarded an e-certificate and a token prize.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Mandi in Himachal Pradesh today. He will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of hydropower projects worth over 11,000 crore rupees around 12 noon. Prior to the event, Mr. Modi will preside over the second groundbreaking ceremony of Himachal Pradesh Global Investors Meet around 11:30 a.m. Talking to AIR News, Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Jairam Thakur said the Prime Minister is coming on the occasion of the state government completing 4 years.
प्रधानमंत्री जी हिमाचल प्रदेश में आ रहे हैं और हम देवभूमि हिमाचल की ओर से प्रधानमंत्री जी का हृदय से अभिनंदन करते हैं और स्वागत करते हैं। और ये कार्यक्रम हम मंडी में रखा है, जिसको हम छोटी काशी बोलते हैं। तो बड़ी काशी से छोटी काशी प्रधानमंत्री जी आ रहे हैं। मुझे इस बात की भी प्रसन्नता है कि हिमाचल के इतिहास में पहली बार ये होगा जब देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी हमारे यहाँ आकर के लगभग 11,300 करोड़ रुपए के विभिन्न योजनाओं के शिलान्यास और उद्घाटन करेंगे। साबड़ा कुड्डू एक प्रोजेक्ट है बिजली का 111 मेगावाट का, वो बन करके तैयार हुआ है, उसका उद्घाटन होगा। दूसरा प्रोजेक्ट हमारा लूहरी स्टेज 1 है, उसका शिलान्यास होगा। तीसरा हमारा धौला स्थित है, उसका शिलान्यास होगा। और चौथा प्रोजेक्ट बहुत बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट जो रेणुका जी डैम का आधारशिला रखने का है।
BJP-led Himachal Pradesh government is celebrating its 4th anniversary today. A function is being organized at the historic Paddal ground of Mandi, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address a public meeting. Now we go over live to our correspondent Sanjeev Sundrial at Paddal ground in Mandi. Sanjeev, what is the schedule of the Prime Minister's visit today? And also tell us about the enthusiasm amongst the people there in regard to his visit.
Sarabjit, today's Mandi visit of Prime Minister is considered very significant because here at Paddal ground in Mandi, Prime Minister will head a big rally on the occasion of completion of 4 years of Himachal government. He will also lay a foundation stone of 3 big hydroelectric projects. This includes the foundation stone of Renuka Dam project, which is to be built on a Gri river in Sirmaur district with an investment of about 6,700 crore, through which Delhi and some other states will be able to get a supply of 500 million cubic meters of drinking water annually.
Sanjeev, the second groundbreaking ceremony is also being organized by the state government today. Tell us how much investment is the state government aiming to attract in this?
Prashant, the state government is making a constant efforts to promote investment in the state, and even today under the chairmanship of Prime Minister, the second foundation stone laying ceremony of Global Investor Meet will be organized in Mandi, in which a target of attracting investment of about rupees 28,000 crore has been set. The first groundbreaking ceremony was held in Shimla 2 years back.
Thank you, Sanjeev, for that update. Moving on, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged people to stay guarded against COVID-19 and the Omicron variant. Sharing his thoughts in Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio yesterday, Mr. Modi said scientists are studying the new Omicron variant and getting new data every day. The Prime Minister called upon people to step in the year 2022 with a sense of responsibility. Mr. Modi said that it is because of everyone's efforts that India could fight the pandemic. He took pride that when one compares India's vaccination figures with that of the rest of the world, it feels that the country has achieved a huge feat. He said crossing the 140 crore vaccine dose mark is an achievement for each and every Indian.
लेकिन साथियों, हमें ये भी ध्यान रखना है कि कोरोना का एक नया वेरिएंट दस्तक दे चुका है। पिछले 2 वर्षों का हमारा अनुभव है कि इस वैश्विक महामारी को परास्त करने के लिए एक नागरिक के तौर पर हमारा खुद का प्रयास बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। ये जो नया ओमिक्रॉन वेरिएंट आया है, उसका अध्ययन हमारे वैज्ञानिक लगातार कर रहे हैं। हर रोज नया डेटा उन्हें मिल रहा है, उनके सुझावों पर काम हो रहा है। ऐसे में स्वयं की सजगता, स्वयं का अनुशासन कोरोना के इस वेरिएंट के खिलाफ देश की बहुत बड़ी शक्ति है। हमारी सामूहिक शक्ति ही कोरोना को परास्त करेगी। इसी दायित्व बोध के साथ हमें 2022 में प्रवेश करना है।
More than 141 crore 37 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry said more than 32 lakh 90,000 doses were administered in the previous 24 hours. The ministry said a total of 6,981 new cases were reported in the past 24 hours. The recovery rate is currently at 98.40%, the highest since March of 2020. A total of 7,091 people recovered in the past 24 hours, and the total recoveries have touched over 3 crore 42 lakh and 30,000.
422 cases of Omicron have been reported in the country so far. Out of the total Omicron cases, Maharashtra has reported 108 cases, followed by Delhi 79, Gujarat 43 cases, and Telangana 41 cases. The Union Health Ministry said till now 130 people have recovered from the infection. In our bilingual live phone-in program Corona Jagrukta series, Dr. A.K. Vashne, RML Hospital, talked about the third dose to tackle the new Omicron virus.
अभी जो डेल्टा वायरस आया था उसके लक्षण काफी गंभीर थे। उसमें बुखार तेज हो रहा था, सर्दी खांसी जुकाम हो रहा था, कई बार कुछ परसेंटेज में निमोनिया हो रहा था, कुछ लोगों में गंध भी चली गई या सूंघने की शक्ति चली गई थी और कुछ लोगों को निमोनिया होकर ऑक्सीजन की। अभी इसमें जो इतनी भी लक्षण सब जगह से आए विदेशों में, बहुत ही सामान्य लक्षण, हल्के से खांसी जुकाम बुखार गला मसल दर्द, किसी भी मरीज में जो है वो सीरियस नहीं हुआ है, निमोनिया नहीं हुआ है और उसमें गंध भी नहीं गई या सूंघने की शक्ति नहीं है। तो ये अभी लक्षण हम कहते हैं बहुत ही हल्के हैं, लेकिन आगे ये कैसे भी देखिए क्षण दिखाएगा या बिहेव करेगा वो अभी कहना हमारे लिए मुश्किल है।
The Delhi government has decided to impose night curfew from today. The decision has been taken in view of increasing cases of COVID-19 in the city. The night curfew will be effective from 11 p.m. till 5 a.m. A total of 290 new confirmed cases of coronavirus infection were reported in the national capital yesterday. Presently, the total number of active cases of COVID-19 in the national capital is at 1,103.
The Karnataka government will impose a 10-day night curfew in the state from tomorrow as an attempt to control the spread of COVID-19 and its Omicron variant. The decision was taken in a high-level meeting of top officials and technical committee members chaired by Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai in Bengaluru yesterday. Addressing the media after the meeting, the State Health Minister Dr. Sudhakar said the night curfew will be imposed from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. for a period of 10 days. New Year celebrations will not be allowed in public places. DJs and parties in open spaces will be completely banned.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch hydropower projects worth over 11,000 crore rupees in Mandi, Himachal Pradesh today. Prime Minister cautions people against rising cases of Omicron, says individual alertness and discipline are big strengths of the country in fight against new variant of COVID. Delhi government decides to impose night curfew from today. Karnataka to also impose night curfew for 10 days from tomorrow. Registration for Prime Minister's Pariksha Pe Charcha program to begin tomorrow on mygov.in. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar says government has no plan to bring back farm laws scrapped recently. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh lays foundation stone of BrahMos missile production unit at Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh. India to resume their first innings against South Africa at overnight score of 272 for 3 in Centurion Test today, and India to take on Afghanistan in ACC Under-19 Asia Cup in Dubai this morning. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Pariksha Pe Charcha, which is held for students before their exams, will be held early next year. The registrations for the same will begin tomorrow and will go on till January 20th. Mr. Modi announced the plans for the next Pariksha Pe Charcha in his Mann Ki Baat program yesterday.
हर साल मैं ऐसे ही विषयों पर विद्यार्थियों के साथ परीक्षा पर चर्चा करता हूँ। इस साल भी एग्जाम से पहले मैं स्टूडेंट्स के साथ चर्चा करने की प्लानिंग कर रहा हूँ। इस कार्यक्रम के लिए 28 दिसंबर से mygov.in पर रजिस्ट्रेशन भी शुरू होने जा रहा है। ये रजिस्ट्रेशन 28 दिसंबर से 20 जनवरी तक चलेगा। इसके लिए क्लास 9 से 12 तक के स्टूडेंट्स, टीचर्स और पेरेंट्स के लिए ऑनलाइन कंपटीशन भी आयोजित होगा। मैं चाहूंगा कि आप सब इसमें जरूर हिस्सा लें। आपसे मुलाकात करने का मौका मिलेगा। हम सब मिलकर परीक्षा, करियर, सफलता और विद्यार्थी जीवन से जुड़े अनेक पहलुओं पर मंथन करेंगे।
Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar has clarified that the government has no plan to bring back farm laws repealed recently. Talking to media, Mr. Tomar said Prime Minister Narendra Modi had decided to withdraw the farm laws to protect the interest of farmers. He stressed that his comments on the issue at an event in Nagpur have been misinterpreted.
कृषि सुधार कानून भारत सरकार किसानों की भलाई के लिए लेकर आई थी। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव को दृष्टिगत रखते हुए बड़प्पन का परिचय दिया और आंदोलन को समाप्त करने की दृष्टि से उन कानूनों को वापस लिया है। मेरा कहने का आशा ये बिल्कुल नहीं था जो दिखाया जा रहा है। मैंने ये कहा था कि कृषि सुधार कानून की दृष्टि से हम पीछे हटे हैं, लेकिन किसान की भलाई के लिए लगातार भारत सरकार आगे बढ़ती रहेगी। इसलिए इस मामले में किसी को कोई गलतफहमी नहीं होनी चाहिए। कृषि सुधार कानून दोबारा से लाने का सरकार का कोई विचार नहीं।
Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has said that India has never been an aggressor but is ready to defend our nation against any nation with hostile intentions. He was speaking after laying the foundation stone for Defense Technology and Test Center and BrahMos Manufacturing Center established by Defense Research and Development Organization DRDO in Lucknow yesterday. The Defense Minister said that the purpose of the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile system is to act as a deterrent. He said the system not only reflects the technical cooperation between India and Russia, but also the long-standing cultural, political and diplomatic ties. He termed BrahMos as the world's best and fastest precision-guided weapon, which has strengthened India's credible deterrence in the 21st century. The Centre has formed a committee to look into withdrawal of Armed Forces Special Powers Act (AFSPA) in Nagaland. The move comes after representatives of the Nagaland government held a meeting with Union Home Minister Amit Shah in Delhi on Thursday. The panel will submit its report in 45 days. Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India Vivek Joshi will head the 5-member committee, and Additional Secretary in the Union Home Ministry Piyush Goyal will be its member secretary. The Chief Secretary and Director General of Police of Nagaland and the DGP of Assam Rifles will be the other members of the committee. The centre formed the high-level committee 3 weeks after 6 civilians were killed in an army ambush on the 4th of December and 8 more in violence triggered by the incident in Nagaland's Mon district.
The News Services Division brings you glimpses of the year 2021 in its special year-ender series, The Year That Was. Today, we take a look at the progress made under Digital India. The government had launched Digital India Mission with a vision to transform the country into a digitally empowered society and knowledge-based economy. Today, people are getting services, facilities, social, health and financial benefits at their doorstep through this robust digital infrastructure. Addressing a function to mark the 6th year of the government's flagship program, Digital India, on 1st of July this year, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that Digital India has played a pivotal role in providing healthcare facilities in different parts of the country.
देश में आज एक तरफ इनोवेशन का जुनून है तो दूसरी तरफ इनोवेशन को तेजी से एडप्ट करने का जज्बा भी है और इसलिए डिजिटल इंडिया भारत का संकल्प है। डिजिटल इंडिया आत्मनिर्भर भारत की साधना है। डिजिटल इंडिया 21वीं सदी में सशक्त होते भारत का एक जयघोष है। मिनिमम गवर्नमेंट मैक्सिमम गवर्नेंस के सिद्धांतों पर चलते हुए सरकार और जनता के बीच, सिस्टम और सुविधाओं के बीच, समस्याओं और सर्विस के बीच गैप कम करना, इनके बीच की मुश्किलें खत्म करना और जन सामान्य की सुविधा बढ़ाना ये समय की मांग रहा और इसलिए डिजिटल इंडिया सामान्य नागरिक को सुविधा और उनके एम्पावरमेंट का एक बहुत सशक्त माध्यम है।
Our correspondent reports that nearly 72% of financial transactions of public sector banks are now done through digital channels.
Digital India is playing an instrumental role in every sphere of life of the people by providing seamless services and governance. It has immensely contributed to the growth of economy, quality of life, employment and productivity. The digital and tech solutions not only provide human-centric approach towards development but also make technology a key part of all government schemes. Aadhaar, direct benefit transfer, common service centers, DigiLocker, mobile-based Umang services and participatory MyGov and Ayushman Bharat have positively impacted people's lives. Digital transactions have also brought an unprecedented change in the lives of farmers. Under the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi, over 1,60,000 crore rupees have been deposited directly into the bank accounts of nearly 10 crore farmer families. The Digital India initiatives have also played a pivotal role during the COVID pandemic, such as Arogya Setu, E-Sanjeevani, sensitization through MyGov and social media platforms. Delhi.
And now let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of this struggle every day.
On December the 27th, 1911, the national anthem Jan Gan Man was first sung at the Calcutta session of the Congress. It is the first stanza of the Bengali hymn Bharato Bhagyo Vidhata, written by Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore.
Jan Gan Man was adopted as the country's national anthem by the Constituent Assembly of India on January the 24th, 1950.
Reverence to the national anthem is a fundamental duty in India. According to Article 51A of the Constitution, it shall be the duty of every citizen of India to abide by the Constitution and respect its ideals and institutions, the national flag and the national anthem.
We also remember freedom fighter Makhan Singh, who helped overthrow the British Empire by joining nationalist movements in two countries, India, the land of his birth, and Kenya, his adopted homeland. He was born on 27th December 1913 in Gujranwala district of erstwhile Punjab. At the age of 13, he moved with his family to Nairobi, Kenya.
Makhan Singh transcended the boundaries and made common cause with the African population of Kenya to take on the British. Kenya was also a centre of the Ghadar party, and Makhan Singh, Gopal Singh Chandan and Vasudev Singh were its chief organisers.
In December 1939, Makhan Singh left for India to study working-class conditions and functioning of trade unionism in Bombay and Ahmedabad. In India, he addressed gatherings in Bombay and attended the Ramgarh session of the Indian National Congress as an African delegate. Singh was arrested by the British and moved from one prison to another for the next 2 years without being charged.
On his release, Singh's movement was restricted to his native village in Gujranwala for 2.5 years. Finally, in January 1945, he was set free, after which he started working with the newspaper Jang-e-Azadi. As India was going to achieve independence on the 15th of August 1947, Singh left for Kenya.
In Kenya, Singh organized the Kenya Youth Conference and became active as the General Secretary of the East African Trade Union Congress. Singh was detained by the colonial government in 1950. He remained behind bars during the famous Mau Mau uprising of Kenya. He remained in prison for 12 years till 1961.
Kenya attained independence in 1963 and Singh was granted permanent residency in the country. Makhan Singh remained committed to challenging the politics of indifference and segregation till the very end. and had secured his place among great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela through his transnational struggle.
We also remember social activist Punjab Rao Shamrao Deshmukh, who was born on the 27th of December 1898. Popularly known as Bhau Sahib Deshmukh, he was associated with the Satya Shodhak Samaj of Mahatma Phule and did Satyagraha for the entry of the so-called untouchables into the Ambabai temple, Amravati. Baba Sahib Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar supported him in this movement.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewellery. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404, issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago.
In cricket, India will resume their first innings against South Africa from the overnight score of 272 for 3 today on the second day of the first test of the 3-match series at the Centurion. Opener KL Rahul at 122 and Ajinkya Rahane on 40 were at the crease when stumps were drawn yesterday. In ACC Under-19 Asia Cup 50 over Cricket Championship, India will take on Afghanistan at the ICC Academy Oval 2 ground in Dubai.
And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. Srinagar will have moderate snowfall. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky. Leh is likely to have light snowfall. Gilgit will have rain or snow. Muzaffarabad, the minimum temperature was 4 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be around 12 degrees. The national capital Delhi will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Mumbai will have partly cloudy sky. Kolkata will have fog in the morning and partly cloudy sky later. Chennai, the temperatures will vary between 20 and 29 degrees Celsius.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Most newspapers today lead with news on the Omicron variant of coronavirus. The Asian Age leads with amid fresh COVID surge, Omicron tally above 500. The Pioneer informs night curfew in Delhi as positivity at 0.5%. Modi cautions nation over Omicron in 84th Mann Ki Baat session, informs the Statesman. On the corporate front, budget to give languishing SEZs a new lease of life, writes the Financial Express. And finally, inching towards electric mobility, the Business Standard, under the caption, A Green Leap of Faith, talks of measures taken by the government and energy companies towards a green future.
Before we end the bulletin, a reminder of today's question of Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Historic Kuka revolt in Punjab occurred in which year? I repeat the question. Historic Kuka revolt in Punjab occurred in which year? WhatsApp your response on 88265 46262 or through email on Amrit Mahotsav quiz at prasarbharati.gov.in. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch hydropower projects worth over 11,000 crore rupees in Mandi, Himachal Pradesh today. Prime Minister cautions people against rising cases of Omicron, says individual alertness and discipline are big strength of the country in fight against new variant of COVID. Delhi government decides to impose night curfew from today. Karnataka to also impose night curfew for 10 days from tomorrow. Registration for Prime Minister's Pariksha Pe Charcha program to begin tomorrow on mygov.in. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar says government has no plan to bring back farm laws scrapped recently. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh lays foundation stone of BrahMos missile production unit at Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh. India to resume their first innings against South Africa at overnight score of 272 for 3 in Centurion Test today, and India to take on Afghanistan in ACC Under-19 Asia Cup in Dubai this morning. And with that we end the morning news. Have a nice day.